1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, welcome to a strange midsummer edition of Blooper Reel. Why is it strange? Well, my blooper is unable to update right now. It's got a little bug in it. So there's a new feature that I can't show you. It's a new modifier called Scrambler. And what Scrambler's job is to turn your loop into a pattern that can be either random or repeatable, and you can choose a number of steps. Should be a lot of fun. I can't show it to you. We'll do it later. But there are other things that I can show you, and I will. We took what wound up being a very inspiring and encouraging trip to Chicago. And I would say it's the first time that Blooper was ever really put to the test as a musical instrument. We were going out there to visit of Into It Over It, and he wanted to use Blooper for some specific stuff on his record. And for the most part, it worked. It was great. And we were also able to spend some time with Jason Isbell before his show. And he really came at Blooper from an angle that I hadn't seen up to this point, and did some very cool stuff with the layers knob. So one thing about all the other Blooper Reel episodes up to this point, the loops have been really ambient, and there's a good reason for that. I like ambient loops. I have to use my finger to start and stop recording, so I can't have something rhythmic. Well, not anymore. What this is an external switch. I'm gonna pick it up. Bam. So I'm connected to this, and this is allowing me to record things. Look, it's recording. Look, it stopped. Great. So if you want to use Blooper on a tabletop, that's an option. You don't have to do anything. It's not like a dip switch, it just auto detects. So you just plug that pup in, and you're good. The other new thing we're going to talk about today is synced ramping. That works now. And what that means is that any ramping you do will be a multiplication or subdivision of the length of your loop. And what that allows you to do is more kind of sequencer-like things where the changes happen at the same point in the loop consistently, so it feels more like a pattern than just like a free roaming modulation. You don't have to use synced ramping, that's a dip switch option, but it's pretty cool, it's pretty nice, and we'll show you how that works. And I think we're just going to get into that. I mean, I don't think I need to show you any more of this. So feature 1 is finished, and we'll get right into this, and then we'll go to Chicago, because that's what it's all about. And then I'm going to figure out how to make my blooper work eventually. I need some of this candy. So if you notice, the filter closing is happening at the exact same point every time. And what our ramping knob will do is it'll still change the speed like normal, but now it'll do it by subdivisions, so multiplications or divisions of the loop length. So we have faster stuff up here, slower stuff at the other end. We're changing the subdivisions so it can get faster than that. This is so slow that the filter's just closed. a little much. Okay, so now I have a bit of a milder thing happening with the filter, so it's not closing all the way. Just a nice little vibe. Now, usually for me, when I use ramping with Chase Bliss pedals, I keep the bounce feature on, which means the ramping works like modulation, where it just steadily happens. But the way ramping can work is it can happen just once, so you move from one point to another point, and you stay there. And with a looper, actually that feels very useful for me. Here's an example of where that might be fun. With a stability knob, you can start with the stability knob turned up quite high, so it's very vintage sounding when the loop starts. So you press play and your loop is a really vintage form of itself, and then it goes back and becomes really clean. So that's a nice way to like start a song. You start really vintage and then swerve, you go back very clean. So that's an example of how you can use it not bouncing for effect. Here is unsynced ramping, just to show you how that sounds too. So again, we got the filter going just for some vibe. Right now this can get a lot faster, but we'll get synced up in that rate too. There we go, got a little arpeggio action going. So I'm ramping this one. So this will change the speed of the arpeggio, and this will change the range of the arpeggio.
One, two, three, four. Off. Can we capture that while I have it?
Sounds like an English ambulance.
We were running two bloopers into the guitar and the main line in. Zach was sitting over there, triggered the two bloopers off while I used the motor stop, which there's actually a switch here where you can stop the tape motor. And in real time, flipped it back on while Zach flipped the two bloopers back on to give it this kind of slow down restart sensation. Cool. You want to do another one?
Oh, that was. I think I might have broke it.
I feel like I should do some like actual loop on purpose, rather than just play chords. Like I should do a
Loop.
yeah. I don't know if I can do that or not, but I can attempt it. Sounds pretty close. Now let's mess with it. That's cool. So you can go back and forth between adding stuff in when it's affected later.
I've never seen someone use it like that, where they've had like a really affecting it a lot and then still
And then still adding things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you totally could. You could play the 12-bar blues with this knob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That sound.
It's almost Dire Straits tone, money for nothing tone.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like the cocked clad wah. That's awesome.
Oh man, that was some of the coolest sounds I've heard.
Oh, good.
Since we started messing with it.
Good. That's good. That makes me happy. Yeah, that I think I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, glad y'all came by. Are y'all gonna get to come to the show?
Yeah, we're